What is up, everyone? I'm back here with another cryptocurrency video. Today I want to talk about if it's worth it to own a masternode. So just to go over how a masternode works, so if we start from the bottom here, you have to buy a certain amount of tokens or coins to actually be able to run a specific node, and this varies between every project. So there's multiple websites I'll link below that you can check out how many coins or tokens you need to own to actually run a node. And then you put those coins or tokens into a specific wallet, and then you link that wallet with a virtual private server, also known as a VPS, or you can set up a server at your house as long as it's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then that node performs a specific task for the network it is on. And then in turn, you get paid because you're helping the network out. I hope that makes sense. It's very basic of how a masternode works. Now, the pros of owning a masternode. So, of course, you earn a passive income. This is why people have fallen in love with masternodes, because you can invest a certain amount of money and then you get a return on your investment. And so in this case, I actually purchased a smart node, which is on the Smart Cash network. And so every 5 to 8 days, I get paid around 200 smart. And with the current price of smart at 26 cents, I make around $60 every 5 to 8 days. Now this is going to vary a lot between each masternode and each network. So once again, I'll let you check out the specific websites that will kind of tell you the amount you're paid per week and per month. So we can see that this idea is very enticing to a lot of people. You know, you set up something, you don't have to touch it, and then you get paid. It sounds really nice. And everyone in this world at some point wants to have passive income, where they don't have to do anything but they're earning money. It's awesome, right? Now let's move on to the cons. And then the cons. So the initial cost of actually buying enough of the coin or token to start a node is a big problem for some people. So if we look at the major master nodes, look how much they cost. If we go to the right of this picture, it says MN worth, and that shows you the price of how much it would cost to obtain enough coins or tokens to actually run a master node. So like with Dash, you're having to pay $700,000 just to get enough coins. And now even to the bottom of the list, Ignition Coin, which isn't even that big of a project, and it costs $46,000 to obtain enough coins. And so this is a big problem for a lot of people, is finding enough money to actually buy the certain amount of coins or tokens. And then the setup process can be difficult for some people. Most of the larger projects have great tutorials on how to set them up, but still it can be kind of hard for a lot of people. And then my biggest problem with this is, could you actually make more money elsewhere? Could you take the $3 grand, the 10 grand, the 50 grand, the $700,000 and put it somewhere else and make a lot of more money? And that's one thing you really have to look at when investing into a masternode. And so let's just talk more about that. So for my smart node, it was around $3 to actually invest into it and have enough coins to run it. And so I've calculated it with, if the price stays the same at 26 cents or bounces between 26 and 30 cents, which it has been for the past month, by the end of the year, I'll have roughly around $3,000 to $3,800 profit. So basically it would have paid for itself. And now this is just saying that Smart Cash stays at the current price it's at right now. So this actually means that I could take my $3,000, and if I were to put it into a project that only 2.5x'd or 2x'd, if I found a project that only doubled, I would basically make as much money as I would have with the masternode. And this is where my problem comes. There are so many different projects that will 10x by the end of the year that it almost is more worth it for me to take my money and put it elsewhere. And so that's one thing I really want to emphasize with this, is you need to really make sure that the project you're investing in is awesome, and if they have masternodes, that's just a plus. So that brings me to my main point: choose a great project. Don't just choose a project because they have masternodes. There are so many scams right now that are saying they have masternodes, and a lot of people are just jumping into it because a lot of people want to own masternodes and make a bunch of money doing nothing. And so there are a lot of scams out there. You want to find a project that has a wonderful team, have a wonderful idea, and that blockchain actually is helpful to this pain that they're trying to solve. There's so many different projects where they're trying to incorporate blockchain into an area that doesn't need blockchain. And then make sure that they have a working product, or very soon will have a working product. And then lastly, once you've done that, once you've found that project that's awesome, if they have masternodes or will have masternodes, that is a plus. That's when you want to invest and probably purchase enough coins to run a masternode. And so once again, don't just invest in masternodes unless you find a super cheap one where you're only paying an amount where you can relatively lose and it's not going to hurt you at all. So there are some funny ones where you can spend like $300 and set up a masternode and just test it out to see if you like it. But if you're just investing $50,000 because this one project has a masternode, maybe take a step back and realize that your money could go somewhere else and possibly earn a lot more money. And also, on the flip side, if you do find an awesome project, you could make a lot of money. So masternodes can be a great thing. If we look at Dash in the beginning, it was at like a $2 price a couple months back. So again, you're still spending $24,000 to set up that masternode, but look what it would be worth now, a couple $100,000. So that's what I mean. If you can find this awesome project where you think it has tons and tons of potential and it has all the key components that makes a great project, then this is when you might want to step in. And this is like VeChain. VeChain was only 26 cents back in November, and they're going to be releasing masternodes very soon, and the minimum requirement is 10,000. So you could have bought enough tokens. $2,600 would have bought you 10,000 tokens, and it would have prepared you to run a masternode when they were released. So this is just another example of finding a good project which has a good team, working product, and a wonderful use case of blockchain. And then they do have masternodes, which is just a plus. So this is my overview of if it is worth it to own a masternode. I mean, it can be. They can be very profitable, and yet again, there are a lot of scams, and I think if you don't get your money in the right project, that possibly your money could be better elsewhere.